Listen, I listened to this young girl's story on TikTok about how a popular influencer was not only broke, but also tried to play on her time. Then the TikToker responded back to her, seemingly taking accountability and apologizing in a way for what he did. And I said to myself, you know what? Two things can be true. Her and him. And I hate to say it, but sometimes things happen to people and people learn from it and they grow from it. And I think that's what's happening in this situation. But, I decided to loop us into the conversation. So what's up, my friends? And welcome back to the Neighborhood. I'm your homegirl, I'm your tia, I'm your prima, I'm your cousin, I'm your friend, I'm whatever you need me to be down here at the Neighborhood. If you could do me a favor, like the video, comment your thoughts down below. I ain't trying to say we got to choose sides, but we can learn from people's experiences such as hers, and just let us know your thoughts. If you're not already subscribed to the Neighborhood, don't you worry, sit back, relax, you're gonna enjoy the video. And if you don't, there are other videos on here that you could enjoy that we done already did, and I'm telling you, you're gonna find something that you like. So let's tune in.
Hello everyone, my name is Sahai, and I'm making this video to talk about an experience I had with a pretty popular creator on this app by the name of Meduras Judgement, or Poetic Exposure TV. I want to start off by saying that this video is not to bash anyone or send hate to anyone. This is just simply me talking about my experience, speaking about my story and my truth. In August of 2022, I DM'd this individual on Instagram saying I'm a really big fan of your content and I enjoy watching your videos. From that initial conversation, we started a flirty back and forth, like get to know you over the phone or FaceTime over text type of relationship, and he seemed really genuine. He seemed like a really nice guy. I really enjoyed talking to him, and eventually, a couple weeks after that initial DM, he suggested that maybe I should come to Philly. We could go to museums, we could go sightsee, I could show you around my city. And he was saying all these things, and I was like, you know what, sure, why not? I start college in about a month. I start my sophomore year of college in about a month, and I have a little bit of free time before the summer finally ends. Why not go to Philly for the first time? It will be fun, you know. He has a lot of stuff planned. So fast forward to the middle of September 2022, I actually go to Philly. When I got to Philly, I quickly realized all the stuff he was telling me we were going to do over the phone was just simply him telling me what I wanted to hear. None of that stuff he had actually planned. None of the stuff that he said we were going to do, we actually did. All the stuff that we did in Philly was me suggesting, like, hey, we should go to the farmer's market, or hey, we should go here. Nothing he said was actually what we did in Philly, and that was okay. I still had a really good time. I spent about a week in Philly, and when I got back to Washington, that's when things got really, really weird. We continued to talk on the phone and text like normal, and he started to talk to me about wanting to move. He was like, yeah, I want to move out of Philly. I hate Philly. I don't want to be here anymore. I've been here for my whole life, 25 years. I want to move and see different things. And I was like, oh, okay, like, cool. Where do you want to move? And he goes, oh, what about Washington? I can move up there with you. And I'm like, oh, well, you should wait a little bit. You should come and see Washington, visit Washington, or save a little bit of money before you just up and move. And he was basically telling me, like, oh, don't tell me what to do. I'm grown. I can make my own decisions. I know what's best for me. And I was like, okay, like, you got it. You can do whatever you want. You're right. He then starts saying he wants to move specifically to Bellingham, Washington, my small college town. And when he says this, he suggests that I get a 2-bedroom apartment in my name and he can just move in and live with me. And I shut this down completely quickly, and I was like, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to get a 2-bedroom apartment my sophomore year and you just come and live with me. Like, I've only known you for a couple months. I'm not doing that. So he goes on to say, like, okay, well, if not, can you just suggest apartments in Bellingham that I could possibly move to? And I was like, okay, like, I can't stop this man from moving. If he's gonna move, he's gonna move. I can't tell him he can't move. So I was like, yeah, I could look around at some apartments for you, and I could suggest a nice couple apartments for you. I suggested 3 apartments for him, one of them being my apartment that I was currently living at, because I knew it was a student housing apartment, but it also rented to non-students, and it was very understanding for people who had bad credit or low credit or like financial issues. They were very understanding and they accepted a lot of people. So I knew that when I suggested this apartment for him, that he would most likely get accepted. And he applied and he did get accepted. So 3 weeks after initially seeing him in Philly, he was moving to Washington, specifically Bellingham, Washington. And I couldn't fathom in my brain why he was so quick and urgent, like, to move. But now looking back on it, it's because he saw the financial situation I was in. He saw that I had my own stuff going for me, my own car, a place, and he knew my financial situation was a lot better than his. So he wanted to leech off me and use me. And that's why he was so quick to move, because he thought I was going to be his cash cow. So in the process of moving from Philly to Bellingham, Washington,
So just to put some bugs in our ears, the dude is 25 years old. She's in college. She's a sophomore in college. She clearly has her own thing going on financially. I'm pretty sure she probably got some kickback from financial aid, as well as some sort of program for her student housing that, you know, has her being comfortable because of the work that she has done. And he is also a popular influencer, so it ain't like he don't got money. I'm not sure why he needed her help to find his own place, but it was nice of her to be like, okay, we'll try this place because, you know, they have more of a forgiving residential lease program here than what you would get anywhere else. So that was nice.
he takes the Greyhound bus. And when he takes the Greyhound bus, he comes with one suitcase. He packs his whole apartment up, sells everything, and comes with one suitcase. On the bus, since it's a long bus ride, they stop in different states. They stopped in, I believe, Denver. And when they stopped in Denver, he got out of the bus and walked around. And then when he came back to the Greyhound station to get back on the bus to continue the ride to Bellingham, he realized the bus had gone and left him because he missed it while walking around. So he calls me, he's like, yeah, I missed the bus. They say another bus doesn't come until 9 hours. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. What are you gonna do? And he's like, oh, I don't know, but I was like hoping you would get like a hotel room for me just for 9 hours while I wait for another bus to come. And I said, no, like, you missed your bus. You were irresponsible. You got off the bus and walked around. It's not my job. This is when the emotional and verbal abuse started. So he starts to yell at me and curse at me over the phone and get mad at me for not helping him buy a hotel room because he missed his bus. And he starts to use these manipulation tactics like, oh, I'm moving all the way out here for you and you can't even buy me a hotel for 9 hours. And I'm just like, no, mind you, I'd already helped him with his first month's rent. He was saying, I can't pay first month's rent, I'm moving. So I was like, okay, like, I'll help you. I know you guys, like, I would never do this ever again for anybody. I learned my lesson. I will never help anybody like this ever again. So I helped him with his first month rent already. And now he's asking for more because he missed his bus. I was like, absolutely not. It's not my responsibility to fund your life. Like, no. So he gets mad at me and starts cursing at me and yelling at me over the phone. About a day and a half after that phone conversation when he's yelling at me and cursing, he actually gets to Bellingham, and I go to the Bellingham Greyhound station and go pick him up. So when I go pick him up, I'm being very cordial, I'm being very nice to him, but I can tell that this person in my passenger seat is not the same person that I DM'd on Instagram, and is dang sure not the same person that he portrays himself to be on TikTok. This is a very short-tempered individual, very angry individual, and I can tell by the way he's interacting with me, and I can tell by the way he interacted with me the previous day on the phone. So the Bellingham Greyhound station is about 5 minutes from the apartment we were staying at. So we drive to the apartment and we go and look at his apartment. He gets his keys, we go in, and it reeks of pee. It smells horrible. The roommate has a cat that has peed on any and everything in sight, and he turns to me and he says like, hey, can I just sometimes stay at your place just to sleep, or sometimes during the day, because I can't, like, the smell, I can't get used to the smell. And I felt really bad, and that was my mistake, feeling bad, my first mistake. And I said yes, and he completely took advantage of this and got really crazy. He would be in my apartment for hours at a time, making skits and TikToks in my clothes, going through my closet, using my dresses, my bonnets, my shirts, everything for his skits, and he would be wearing my clothes in his skits. He would even go live almost daily in my Western Washington University hoodie, and when people would see the live, they would ask him in the comments like, hey, are you going to college? Are you enrolled there? And he would either block them or delete their comments. And just to prove I actually go to that school, here's my ID. When I finally did work up the courage to tell him like, hey, I don't want you here 24/7. I need my space sometimes. You cannot be in my apartment using my room, using my apartment for your TikTok videos 24/7. And this is when he gets violent. When I tried to set this boundary with him, he got so upset, he started throwing things, cursing, punching stuff in my apartment, slamming doors, and even getting in my face trying to physically intimidate me because I told him I can't have you here 24/7. He eventually did leave that day, but I was so shaken up because I was like, oh my gosh, who have I invited into my life? Like, I'm so stupid. Who is this person? I don't even know this person, and I invited them in my life willingly. I'm gonna have to make a part 2 about how he threatened my life on Christmas Eve with knives, but right now I just want to say that I waited so long to say something or to make this video because I felt the power dynamic between me and him. Nobody was gonna believe me, and I still feel like not a lot of people are gonna believe me because most of his supporters are women who think he's this outstanding, upstanding, nice guy, and I don't fault them because I thought the same thing, but I just felt like no one would believe my story. He has all these supporters, all these followers. No one's gonna believe, what I'm saying. And I still feel that way, but I wanted to put this out there because I know I'm not his only victim and there's other women that he has affected and they should come forward as well.
He got action, boss. If I was to have a daughter at the age of 14, me and her mom will teach each other how to clean, use, load, add attachments, the laws and acts of self-defense with the firearm. Y'all ladies is 36 with no firearm license and no firearm, just mace and a taser too. My daughter will be taught to drive herself to the date, to be that effing lazy that you want a man to pick you up and all he gotta do is throw the child lock on the door is crazy. 3, never be in a private alone. If he's not your boyfriend, ex, why is you the guy you dating and his roommate all in the same place at the same time? 2 versus 1, and you a woman? Absolutely not. 4, do not trust women that's overly excited for you to meet a man that only she knows. So this was his belief system, and for him to be 25, motherfucker look ran down. He looked tired. He looked like life been like, boom, 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 get up, motherfucker. That's what he looked like he been going through, and it looked like he ain't been winning the fight. I can't believe this boy is only 25 years old. He's almost 10 years younger than me. Now that just don't make sense. And her videos just came out. Her videos just came out like 2 days ago. So, wow. Yeah. He look old. Oh, okay. So, girl, I'm so stupid. I'm so caught up in the story. I'm like, okay, let me read what he had on his story. Okay, so she's showing us that he was wearing her clothes. Okay. Ew. Oh, wow. Wow. He looks like them type of dudes that will keep on inboxing you good morning beautiful until you answer, and when you meet up with him in real life, he's stinky.
Hello everyone, this is part 2. Again, this is not to bash anyone or send any hate to anyone. This is just me telling my story. So about a day after he goes crazy in my apartment because I told him he can't be there 24/7, he comes to my door and he has his head down and he's moping and going on a tangent about how nothing's working out for him right now and this move stressed him out, he has no money and all this stuff. And I quickly realized, okay, so he's basically apologizing without actually saying the words, I'm sorry. And I used to have this problem, I can admit, a long time ago, but I never took someone for what they were when they first showed me. I always gave people chances and chances and chances because I always wanted to see the good in people, and I believed that everybody has good in them, and I believed he had good in him. So when he did this whole fake apology, I still allowed him to spend nights and sleep in my apartment. So he starts sleeping back at my apartment, and my roommates are okay with it as long as he's not there 24/7. So he starts sleeping there and everything is good. I perceived everything to be good for about 3 weeks. 3 weeks until November. When November came, I'm planning to go get my hair done. When I'm planning to get my hair done, I'm calling my hairstylist, but she lives in Tacoma. If you know anything about Washington, you know Tacoma and Bellingham about 3 hours apart. Whenever I go to Tacoma, I can't come back to Bellingham in the same day. It's too much traveling for me, and I get tired really quick after I get my hair done. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll just go to Tacoma, get my hair done, and then I'll go to Seattle from Tacoma and just stay like a night or a day with my mom and catch up with my mom and my siblings, because why not? It's close. I have to pass it anyway, and I don't want to be on the road. So I get my hair done in Tacoma, and my hair takes about 7 hours to get done, and then I go to my mom's house in Seattle and I stay there for a day. And while I'm staying there, we're still talking, we're still texting, and everything seems to be fine. My roommates have my number, they haven't called me, haven't texted me about anything, so I'm like, okay, everything's good. After I leave my mom's house and go back to Bellingham, this is when I get a weird feeling because he starts acting completely weird, like he wasn't acting before. He's pacing my room, texting, and then he's pacing
Kind of wondering if he has a case of bipolar going on.
the apartment complex on the phone. He's ignoring me, and I just feel a gut feeling like something is wrong, something is not right, but I can't pinpoint what it is, and I'm not gonna ask him because he's gonna blow up on me. So I just waited the whole day when I got back, and then at night something told me, hey, check his phone. He had previously given me his password in Philly because he was like all about, oh, check a man's phone, I don't hide anything. So I had never went through his phone before, I had never looked at it in Philly, and something told me tonight, like, just look through his phone, and I did. Immediately when I open his phone, I see dating apps. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 dating apps on his phone. And I'm shocked because he's the main one saying, oh, I moved here for you, I'm doing all of this for you. And there's 5 dating apps on your phone. So I'm shocked because I didn't think he had these dating apps on his phone. And obviously it's because he wants to keep his options open and meet, girls at my college. Then I went to his Instagram DMs. When I get to his Instagram DMs, I click on one of the first DMs. I see that he's talking to this woman saying basically, oh, look at what these men are doing. They're exposing you in chat rooms. They have your photos. And he sends her a photo, and the photo is of her, and she's not wearing anything. She's not wearing a top. Her chest is exposed. And as soon as I read picture, I was like, let me go to gallery. Let me see what else he has in this phone. When I went to the gallery, I immediately started to tear up because I see a bunch of pictures. It was easily over 20 pictures of exposed women. And some of these women had their faces in the camera, and some of these women did not have a face to the picture. Like, they did not have their face in the camera. But the ones that did, they looked young. They looked like they can be in their late teens to early 20s. These were young women, and you could tell the photos were pictures that were sent to, maybe a guy that they liked, and nudes that they sent to maybe their friends or something. But it was 20 or more pictures. And I'm like, it's one thing to tell a woman like, hey, they're exposing you, you should take legal action, this is what they're doing. And it's another thing to have 20 plus pictures saved in your gallery. Like, why do you have these pictures saved in your phone? That's weird. So I waited, and I was like, you know what, in the morning I'm gonna say something. But then the morning came, I was like, no, I'm gonna wait till night so that he can come here and think he's about to go to sleep, and then I can bring it up. So that next night, he's in my room, he's sitting on the edge of my bed, he's texting on his phone, and I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you. He goes, yeah, why, what's up? And I'm like, I went through your phone. And before I could even say anything that I found, he jumps up, he's like, you went through my phone? And I'm like, yeah. So he starts pacing the room, panting and like shaking and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I went through your phone and I saw everything. I told him everything I saw. I told him about the dating apps. I told him about all the pictures and the DMs that I saw. I told him everything, and he could not give me a logical explanation as to why he had 5 dating apps on his phone and why he had all those pictures of those exposed women. And it's not like he had all the DMs telling these women they were being exposed. A lot of these pictures were just random women that he did not know. Man. So he's sitting at the edge of my bed with his face in his hands, crying, like loud boohoo sobbing.
Anytime a man gets a crying all hard whenever he's been caught up in something, that's a surefire sign that he done did it. He done did it.
And I'm telling him, like, whatever you thought we had before, we definitely don't have that now. And at this point, I don't even have to tell him to leave my apartment. He knows I want him to leave. I tell him, like, hey, I could be cordial, I could be respectful with you, but like, I don't like you. Respectfully, I tell him, like, hey, I don't like you. I don't like who you are as a person. And he's still crying, but eventually he does get up and leave. After this, everything's different. About 2 weeks goes by. I'm avoiding him. I'm not texting him as much. I'm leaving him on red because I just don't want to interact with him, and he senses that. At this point in time, it's November. It's like mid to late November, and my roommates are talking to me in the kitchen, and they're telling me, like, hey, we need to start locking the door. We leave out in the morning and we're going to class, we're rushing to go out somewhere at night, and we're leaving this door unlocked. We need to start locking this door. And everybody agreed to do their part to make sure the door is always locked. Then they also...
Why ain't y'all's door locked anyway? Y'all's door should be locked anyhow. Now, I ain't trying to say what color she might live with, but what I do want to say is lock the doors at all times. Don't matter where you live at, just lock the doors at all times. They're putting air tags on celebrities and kicking their doors in while they're gone on vacation. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in anymore. These people are running up in houses, period. So try and just lock your door.
Told me, like, we don't feel comfortable. Sometimes he's a little weird because every time we're walking to class in the morning or leaving, he's in the apartments, around the apartments, looking at them, giving them dirty looks, giving them mean mugs, and they just feel like he's weird. So at this point, Thanksgiving break is coming up for my college, and I have to make a decision. Do I leave him at these apartments where he could possibly make my roommates feel extremely uncomfortable, or where he could possibly try to get into my apartment when I'm gone because one of my roommates leaves the door unlocked, and bring a girl? I don't know what he's capable of at this point. I don't know if he would try to bring a girl that he meets on one of these dating apps into my apartment, or what he would try to do, but I don't know what he's capable of. So I'm like, do I leave him here and go visit my family for Thanksgiving for a couple days, or do I say, hey, like, you should come to Thanksgiving with me? So I came up with this plan to tell him, like, hey, my mom really wants to meet you. Like, you should come celebrate Thanksgiving with us. It would be great. It would be great for you to get out of Bellingham and see Seattle. It's perfect. It's perfect. And he's like, no, he's not budging. He's like, no, I'm staying in Bellingham. I'm staying at the apartment. Like, no, I'm not leaving, basically. Mind you, my family doesn't know much about him. Only thing I told them about him is that he has horrible anger issues and he takes his anger out on me sometimes. Other than that, they don't know a lot of this stuff. So I told my mom that...
That's all you got to tell me. As a family member, that is all you got to tell me. I'm not about to play niceties with this crazy motherfucker here. I'm not about to do that. And I'm about to start questioning you as to why, if he got stuck and missed that bus, that was God telling him he didn't need to be there, and that was God telling you you didn't need to be around him. I'd have took that sign. No, you got to be there for 9 hours by yourself before you catch another bus. Well, would it be cheaper for you to catch another bus back to your house? Like back to your moms, your grandmas, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, any of your friends back home from where you're from, because you don't need to be coming up here with me if you ain't even got the finances to support any type of mistake that you make while you out there. No, so you don't need to bring your ass down here, and then you're going to expect for me to pick up the slack when you make another mistake. Hence this apartment. You not being able to move into a nice apartment in a nice neighborhood also further lets you know that you should not be moving from your current situation. Don't be moving just because I'm moving. Don't be moving just because I'm in a good position financially. No, because I'm not here to support you. I done got myself together. I had to take the time and get myself together. You gonna have to do the same with your grown ass.
I am potentially gonna be bringing him, and that she should just be like cordial with him. And I did. He finally agreed to go the day before I left to Seattle for Thanksgiving. He's like, okay, fine, I'll go. But he was super suspicious because he thought I was trying to set him up or get him jumped, which never was the case. So we go to Seattle for Thanksgiving, and he meets my mom. My mom does not like him. I already knew she wouldn't like him. It was just a matter of keeping him out of Bellingham so he doesn't do anything weird with my apartment or with my roommates. So when we get back, I get a text from the group chat with my roommates saying, we have to be on top of locking this door. I'm noticing that it's still not getting locked at night, and it's still not getting locked in the mornings. It's for our safety. We need to lock this door. And I start to be so thankful that I actually peer pressured him into coming with me, because no telling what he would have did when I was gone. I have a couple more things to tell you all, but I'm gonna have to make a part 3, and that will be the last and final part.
Good morning, girlies. So I've been noticing the front door being unlocked throughout the day and even overnight. If we could pretty please be better at locking the door behind us, I would greatly appreciate it, just for our safety, blah, blah, blah. Hey, girlies, I'm with Zahida. Oh, no, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so y'all just ain't locking the door.
Hello everyone, this is the last and final part 3. I want to say I'm not bashing anyone or sending any hate to anyone. This is just me telling my experience and speaking my truth. After we get back from Thanksgiving dinner, things are awkward because I'm avoiding him. I'm not responding to text messages. I'm being super distant with him. And I still see him every day when I go out of my apartment because he's in and around the apartment. So when I'm walking to class, I see him. When I go to my car, I see him. I get a message from him and he's saying, I know you don't like me. I know what we had once before we'll never have again, but I still want to get you your money. I was wondering if we could do DoorDash or Instacart so I can get you your money. At this point, the holidays are coming up, winter break is coming up for my college, and I do really want my money. And the money that I loaned him wasn't like a small $200 or $400. I loaned him over $2,000 for the moving and the helping with his rent. So I did want my money back. So you guys can call me whatever you want in the comments, but I did say yes, like we can do Uber or Instacart or DoorDash for your money. This whole situation was a learning experience, so I know not to do these things ever again.
Girl, I just want to say, well, shoot, how he owe you money and you doing DoorDash and Instacart with him in the car? So you want to pay me back my money and use my car too? Well, let me just lay on down on the floor and let you walk across my back and walk across my damn head, since I'm just letting you do all this other type of stuff. I don't mind helping out somebody if they're in need. I don't mind that, but I'm not about to be dating you. I'm not about to be in this full-blown relationship, talking situationship, dating situationship with you if you ain't got your ducks in a row. I'm also not about to loan you over, I say about $300-400. It's gonna stop there. $2,000? You mean to tell me he had to borrow the money to move? That's another surefire sign. Your ass ain't supposed to go nowhere, sir. Sit down and get a real job. That's what he need to be doing.
After Instacarting and doing DoorDash for a couple weeks, I completely shut it down because one of the last times we did Instacart, we got into an argument in the car. And I was in the passenger seat and he was driving my car on the highway. And he looked at me and he raised his voice and he said, keep talking to me right now so that I could flip this car and us both. And obviously I started crying and I completely stopped talking to him. And once we got back to the apartment, he went his way, I went my way, and he blocked me on Instagram, he blocked me on TikTok, and he blocked me on every social media.
What's up? As soon as we get to where we're at, what's up? Because you're about to unalive who? You driving whose car? Let me tell you something. Don't come back to my house. Don't call me. Don't nothing. You ain't about to sit up here and keep on intimidating me. If you think you about to do anything to me, I want you to. I want you to come right on over here and see what happens to you. That's what I want to happen, because you're not about to keep on scaring me. You're not about to do that. Oftentimes what I do notice is with these type of men, all you got to do is stand up back to them. Like, for real. All you got to do is stand up back to them. Oh, but when it comes to a woman, you so tough. But you don't know how to run that same game with no man. So what you're not about to do is intimidate me and scare me and try to talk cold to me. She was smart about being like, okay, let me just be quiet until we get safely to our destination. But as soon as I got out that car, I would have had to let him know. Don't call me. Don't try to reach out to me. I'm not about to feel sorry for you anymore. Any mistakes that you make, you're going to have to figure out how to get out of them. Bye.
Media that he had, and I'm still blocked on those things till today. At this time, it's winter break. Mainly everybody at the apartment is gone, including all of my roommates. Anybody who knows anything about college knows when winter break comes, everybody goes home and sees their family for Christmas, New Year's, that kind of thing. My family doesn't celebrate Christmas, so I had no reason to leave. I get a message from him late December. He's asking to come over to my apartment to watch a movie, and he wants to start the new year right and just bring positive energy into the new year. And I can confidently say this is the worst mistake I ever made in my life. I'm all about accountability, and I can look back and say if I would have just said no or put my foot down and had a backbone, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have happened. But when he said that, I said, okay, under one condition: you're not sleeping in my apartment, you're not staying there, we can watch a movie, you can say sorry, that's it, it's done. And he's like, okay, cool. Late December one night, I'm coming home from work. I'm saying late December because I don't remember the exact dates for everything when these things happen. I'm coming home from work and he comes down the stairs and he's trying to help me park because I'm having some trouble. But I told him like, hey, I got it. I kind of brushed him off like, hey, I got it. I'm just taking a little bit more time because I just bought this new car. When I told him no, I didn't need help parking and he stormed off, I sat in my car and I thought like, No, I'm not going into the new year like this. No, I don't want an apology from him. No, I don't want to pretend to be nice to him and like him and watch a movie with him for 2 hours in my apartment. Like, no, I'm not doing it. When I get up there to my apartment, I'm going to tell him, no, we can't do anything. So immediately when I get up to my apartment, he is going off. You never let me lead. You never let me help you. I was just trying to help you. I told him, like, hey, I didn't need help. And right now I need you to leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to watch a movie. I don't need an apology. And this got him really mad. And while he's doing all this yelling, he's in my kitchen and I'm in my room, and I'm asking him, please leave my apartment. I asked him to leave my apartment twice. And when I'm saying this, I'm saying it in a very calm manner. And on the second time, he goes, okay. And I see him reach for something in my kitchen. I don't know what he's reaching for. I don't know what he's about to do. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. Then he comes into my room and he's holding my roommate's 3 kitchen knives, large kitchen knives that you cut chicken with and you cut up carrots with. He's holding 3 large kitchen knives and he's saying someone is going to, you know what, tonight. Someone's gonna tonight. And by the time it takes me to get to my balcony to try to unlock my balcony door, then unlock my screen door, he already has me by my shirt, pulling me back into my apartment, choking me because he's grabbing so hard on my shirt. I'm trying to scream, I'm trying to yell, but he's pulling my shirt so hard it's choking me and I can't even get words out. And everybody's gone. These apartments are like a ghost town. None of my roommates are home and everybody went home for winter break. So I knew he knew this, and that's why he felt comfortable doing what he did then and not any time before. So he gets me back in the room. He still has all 3 of them in his hand and he has me by the shirt. I go to reach for my phone. He grabs it. After this, I don't see my phone for a while. I'm asking him, please let me go. Please get off of me. He's refusing. He held these knives in his hand for hours, and when he put them down, he never put them back in the kitchen. He kept them in my room, and I felt trapped, and I had nowhere to go, no phone to text anybody, no phone to call anybody, and I also had no witnesses to this. My apartment didn't have cameras, and everybody was gone. That night, he stayed up yelling at me for hours, and when he finally did fall asleep, I felt trapped. He had my phone. He snatched my phone. I haven't seen my phone in hours. I couldn't call anybody, and I knew if I wanted to make a run for it, I would have to get through my room door, which was locked, and then I would have to go past the kitchen to the front door, which was also probably locked. So the probability of me getting out without him noticing or getting out without him grabbing me was very low. I stayed up the whole night crying, terrified of what he could possibly do to me. And when he did wake up finally in the morning, he pretended like everything was normal. He started talking to me like normal and didn't mention anything about what he did the night before, to the point where I'm like, were you even sober? Like, what is going on? And I asked him in the morning, since he was...
Now all of a sudden he don't remember none of that done happened. Now it done slipped your mind that you was sitting up here with knives telling me that you was gonna do something to me. Oh, now it done slipped your mind. Oh no, sir. No, I would have done got my phone. As soon as he, I'm about to get my stuff. I'm about to get my phone, because what I'm not about to do is sit here and let you make me feel like I'm a hostage in my own home when I invited you into my home. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if he's knocked out. No, we about to have some problems. We about to have some issues. And if you end up stabbing me, gosh dang it, I'm gonna get to my phone and I'm gonna call 911, and you gonna regret that you even thought of doing that to me. That's what I do know. And you gotta pay attention to the signs. I know that she said, you know, she done learned from her mistakes. She done learned from this whole situation. She ain't never gonna do this again. But I'm telling you, just pay attention to the signs.
Calm and pretending to be normal. Leave my apartment. Leave now and give me my phone. He left that morning and he gave me my phone, and I immediately called my mom, telling her everything that happened. And she immediately told me, call the police, call the non-emergency line, call right now. And that's what I did. I called them, and by the way they interacted with me on that phone, I immediately knew they were not taking this situation as serious as it affected me. They're asking me questions like, are you in any immediate danger? Did anybody see anything? Did the cameras catch anything? Is he still there right now? Do you know where he is? And I'm like, no, and no. Nobody saw anything. There are no cameras at this apartment. He's not here right now. I'm not in any immediate danger. But I'm still telling you guys, this is what happened. And the only reason I'm calling right now is because I did not have access to my phone. They went on to tell me that because it was hours ago, because it was last night, and he's not any immediate danger to me anymore, and nobody saw anything, and there were no cameras, that they can make a report, but they can't arrest him. So I'm stuck in my apartment with nobody here with me, and I don't know where he is at this point. This was late December, early January, and later that month in January, he tells me that he wants to go back to Philly. He's still not acknowledging the magnitude of what he did to me was horrible. He's not acknowledging that. He never even said sorry. But at this point, I want him out of my life for good. I want to be able to move comfortably and not have a fear that he's watching my new apartment or seeing where I'm gonna move. So January flies by and he's telling me when I get my income taxes, if I have enough, I'm gonna move and pay you your money, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, no, just focus on moving. Just focus on moving. Like, I don't want you in my life anymore. He gets his income taxes and he moves back to Philly in February. After he moves about 3 months, I get a text from him. Mind you, I didn't block him because I thought he was gonna give me a sincere apology and apologize to me. He never did. He texts me about 3 months later saying, oh, you know, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I still love you. God bless. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And I'm like, what? So I block him. About 8 months after I blocked his number, I get a random text message from a number saying, oh, I just remember how much you liked the Bob Marley movie. And it's a trailer for the Bob Marley movie in the text message. And I'm like, okay, who is this? And he goes, hi, it's Rashawn. And I blocked the number immediately. Since then, he has not tried to talk to me. He has not tried to call me. I got no messages from him. He's never said sorry. And he's on this app pretending like everything's okay and fine. And it's not. And I want people to know that this person is very toxic and very crazy. Ladies, please be careful and learn from my many mistakes. And I've also learned from my mistakes. Thank you, guys.
I'm probably... Hold up. We don't want to talk to you, big head. Hold on. Let us rewind. I'm probably crazy as hell to be texting you because I know you don't care. I hate when people say this because they're trying to guilt trip you into feeling bad or feeling more concern for them than you should feel for yourself, and more care and compassion for them than you should feel for yourself. I know you don't care. Just want to say I miss you. I love you. And I hope all is well. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Stay blessed. What you can't do to me is keep on love bombing me and making me believe that you're a good guy and a good man, and you're really not. Just because you didn't beat on me or you didn't do something outlandish like stab me doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden a good guy. It don't mean that.
So, as of recently, an ex of mine from Seattle, Washington, made a video about me. And I'm here to say I am not denying anything that she is saying in that video. I have not seen her video. I have seen clips and snippets of it, and I have been seeing what people have been sending me. The only thing I will defend is that I was never physically abusive. I never put my hands on her. I threatened to take her brother's life with a knife. Yes, I did. Okay? Everything she is saying is true. I am not going to deny anything. Many times and times again, I have told you ladies to never trust a man. Not even me. I have told y'all I have been a terrible man. I have been a very abusive man. I have been a dangerous man at times. All I can let y'all know is that whatever she's saying about me is true. Okay? I do sincerely apologize to her. And if I could have a conversation with her to apologize to her, I would. But I understand that I'm gonna do it publicly, right? So I do apologize to you for what we went through, what I put you through, what you endured, the trauma, everything, right? Because you didn't deserve it and you don't deserve it. So I'm not gonna lie and try to save my platform. No, I am sincerely sorry. And I'm especially sincerely sorry because of who I am now versus who I was 2-3 years ago. I went to Seattle, Washington with no money. She was supporting me. I went out there, couldn't keep a job because I wasn't from there. Lack of motivation, lack of dedication, but I was comfortable. She helped me get an apartment on a college campus. She was a good woman. Everybody got flaws. She got flaws, but I was the abuser. I was the predator in the situation. I'm not going to deny anything. I am in front of this camera right now as the man I am today. I understand that I've grown a lot. In 2-3 years, you can develop your character a whole lot. And this is not an excuse, because she's telling her truth, her story, her experience that she had with me. And I'm pretty sure it's probably exes in the comments saying they had similar experiences. But let me ask y'all a question. If you take a bad man, right? If you take a cheater, a liar, an abusive person, and give them a platform, is people not going to speak out about their experiences with that person? It was going to happen regardless. And I had a platform when it was going on, but it was a silent thing. And I'm very terribly sorry that she went through that. And I'm not trying to save face. I want people to understand that I'm admitting that I did what she's saying. I'm owning up to it. This is not one of those videos where I'm not denying nothing, right? But I am terribly sorry. She don't want people to attack me. Women are women, you know, still going to attack me. That's okay. I understand that when one woman go through something, other women are furious, you know, other women are triggered. So they are, they want to stand in solidarity. I understand. I wholeheartedly appreciate her telling her story about me. I appreciate her telling her story about me, because who I am now is not who I was then. A couple of people have told me that she was talking about, you know, I was mooching off her. She was helping me fix my credit. I had no money. I was, you know, sleeping in her, using her clothes. Yeah. Like, I went from Philadelphia to Seattle with little to no money. Probably like $400. Back in Philadelphia, I had an apartment and everything. I just gave up my lease and just moved to Seattle. Right? I felt like at the time it was a great decision. It's a fresh start. I'm going to be with somebody who I want to be with, but I was not ready. I wasn't ready for any of it. So I'm not going to deny nothing. I'm going to stand here as a man and tell you what she is saying is true. Only thing I did not do is put my hands on her. I never put my hands on her. I never physically harmed her. But her traumatic experience she had with me is true. I have told you plenty of times before, I have been a terrible man in my past. I have been a terrible man in my past. A very, very terrible man in my past. Exes are going to tell about past experiences they had with somebody, especially when
I see why people was calling him E-Kane, because of how his face keep on doing all of that extra shit. He trying to make it sound like it's not a problem for him to move without having the finances to move. That is a problem. You too damn grown to do that. He trying to make it sound like it's not an issue for him to be an abuser or a manipulator or a mean man or a bad man because he's honest about it. It's still a problem. It's still an issue. And do not think that you could change anybody. I had to let go of that notion a long time ago. I cannot change a man. I cannot make a man into a better man. I cannot make a man want to go to work. I can't make him respect me, treat me right, none of that stuff. I can hold myself to a standard and have requirements and respect for myself and things that I won't do. And I can have morals for myself. And I can look at a man and see what he got going on. And then it's my decision to decide if I want to continue to mess with him, if he's not treating me right, treating me nice. If I have to do a lot of work as far as change him from being a mean man to a nice man, being a man who cusses me out and gets loud with me to being a man who talks to me polite, when I'm not doing that to you, I ain't got time for it. You should, at this big age, know how to self-regulate, know how to talk, know how to control your emotions, especially if he legitimately told her, you don't never let me take the lead. Why would I let an abuser take the lead of me? Why would I do that? Why would I let a mean, bad man who's always yelling and cursing at me, why would I let him take the lead? And I don't care how we slice it. This girl looked like she's younger than him. Maybe she's about 20, 21. She also looks like she has a very soft spoken spirit to her. So you sitting up there yelling at her, and she's supposed to be like, yeah, this is who I want to be with. This is who I want to let lead me. No, it does not work that way. And I don't care how many times he tries to make it seem like I'm telling y'all the truth. Why would y'all give an abuser a platform? Why would y'all? This is the internet. So you're telling me you don't have any type of moral compass that says it's wrong for me to treat people like this. You're blaming it on other people making you internet famous? That's sad. That is a sad way to go, because once this internet goes away and you don't have all of this attention, you get old, you don't have a job, you don't know how to keep a job, you don't know how to keep a house, then what? Then what happens then? You know, you're on here, he be on here trying to give advice against bad men because he is the bad man. But what happens when the advice runs out? What happens when there's no more, how do I get advice on bad men? Like, what happens when all of this goes away and you don't have no work ethic to you and you don't know how to be stable to save your damn life unless you're depending on a woman? Then what happens? You know what this is? This is a homosexual. Hobosexual. Ain't got no place, but he'll do whatever he needs to stay with somebody. He gonna say he let his lease go. You still gotta pay it. Just because you let a lease go and move states does not mean it comes off your credit because you don't live there. You still got to pay it, stupid.
Person keeps getting more and more fans and supporters. It's like, hold on, why are you supporting this person? Let me tell you about this person. And she's telling her truth. There's nothing wrong with that. I have been in therapy since then. I have been thriving to become a better man since then, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I personally feel bad that women even have an experience to tell about me that's negative. Because that's not who I don't want women to think of me and think of a bad experience. But I've been a terrible man.
Huh? So why are you sitting up here admitting that you're such a terrible man if you don't want women to have a bad experience with you? I've been in therapy. That's a bad person's favorite line. Person, not man or woman, person who continues to have these toxic traits. I've been in therapy. I've been in therapy. Jennifer dumbass fiance, that scammer that's back in jail. I've been in therapy. I've been in therapy. That's why I've been in therapy. Yeah, you ain't been in shit, Ike Turner. You ain't been in shit. You just got exposed, or else you would have been done talked about this. And you're telling me from like what, February, March of 2022 to now you done changed so much to where you're an abuser who's not an abuser, who sometimes is an abuser, but you don't want people to look at you like an abuser because you do abuse people. The fuck are you talking about?
So has him, so has him, so has him, and so has him, and so has him. They just don't have a platform.
Oh, please.
Y'all exes are terrible men. They just don't have a platform.
What?
I have been an extremely terrible man, and all I can do is take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Sunday to be a better man. But I'm not denying nothing. What she's saying in those videos, yes, it's true.
Okay.
It's true. If y'all want me to apologize to her, I am sorry. I am deeply and sincerely sorry. And I'm a tagger. So that way y'all can see her story of her experience with me. But when I go live, I tell women, yeah, I was a bum. I was a lame. I was a narcissist. I was abusive. I don't never sit here and say, oh, I was perfect. I was perfect. No, I was a terrible monster. Absolutely. All I can do is work on myself. All I can do is be better. All I can do is move forward to be the best man I can be with the next person, with the next person, with the next person. A lot of women have bad experiences with me. That's life. You're going to have some exes that have good experiences with you and some exes that have bad. But I'm not denying no allegations. I never put my hands on her. I only threatened her brother's life. Maybe I did say something threatening her life at that time. I can't even remember, you know? But I was such a bad man, I wouldn't put it past myself. I probably did. Your whole life can change in 1 year. It's been 2, maybe 3 years now. Y'all don't have to believe that I have changed and became a better man and developed my character to be a good man in life. If you don't believe that, you don't have to. But I am sincerely sorry to her. And I do own up to everything she is saying. I'm not denying no allegations. What she is telling the truth. She's tagged below. No, this is not about she spilled the tea. I am happy that she is sharing her negative experiences about me. I want her to. I have been a very, very, very extremely demonic and terrible man in my past. It's been years since me and her ever said anything to each other. I am admitting 100% that I was verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying nothing. All I can do is apologize. I can't take back the trauma that I put her through. All I can do is apologize. You know what I mean? Like, I've grown since then. I've been in therapy, massive amounts of therapy since then. I've been working on myself since then. You know, I've been trying to be a better man since then. But I understand trauma lasts a long time, it lasts a lifetime. And if she wants to share her negative experiences about me in the story time, there are multiple parts. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm owning up to it. I'm admitting that I was a terrible man to her. There are some exes, like I said before, that have good experiences with me. They're not speaking out and saying anything, and they don't have to share their positive experiences with me. That's okay too. I'm not upset or mad at her or anybody I dealt with. It's the past. I'm a human being. I made mistakes. I have been intentionally, abusive. All I can do is own up to it. That's all I can do. I'm not upset that she's spilling the tea. There's no tea to spill. It's the truth. So this video is for the record, a direct and clear video so y'all understand that I am admitting to being abusive. 2-3 years ago, I dealt with a woman who lived in Seattle. She just came out with a video saying that I was verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive. She is telling the truth. She is 100% accurate. Everything she is telling is 100% true. I'm not denying nothing. My past is my past. I have been an absolutely terrible man. People change. People change over time. People change with therapy. People change with help. People change with consistency. It's 2 or 3 years later. I have changed. I have never once on this platform said I am a perfect man. I have been manipulative. I have been a liar. I have been a cheater. I cheated on a lot of women, a lot. I have been verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive to a lot of women. I am admitting to it, and I'm going to own up to it for the record in one video so y'all understand that when y'all come to my page to watch my content, I understand what I'm talking about. I'm trying to educate you ladies so y'all can avoid it. I'm not here to put off this persona like I'm perfect. My caption and my bio say never trust a man 100%, even me. You should never trust me. I told y'all before, y'all should never trust me. I'm admitting to it. I'm owning up to it. I'm being a man about it. And I am deeply and sincerely sorry to any of my exes. Any of my exes that ever dealt with me, any woman period, that have a negative or bad experience with me, I am deeply and sincerely sorry. I don't expect you to accept my apology, but I am sorry. I don't even expect you to see me as a changed man now. But just understand, I want you to know I'm sorry. I am. And I am admitting and owning up to my actions in my past of who I used to be. Absolutely, 100%.
We can't trust him at all. We just can't trust him. So I think everything the young lady said was true. I think that a man like him is very easy to spot. All you got to do is pay attention to the red flags. This is how easy it is. If a man is not on the same level as you are, financially, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, all that good stuff, if he's not on the same level as you, you're probably not gonna be compatible. That's it. I have been the Just Casein brand. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead, join the community by subscribing to the Jayborhood. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that you catch me every single time I come on, and leave your comments down below. In the description box, it is going to be the creators' tags if you want to go and watch more of their TikToks, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.